Hi everyone, and here I am. I had to, oh my god, scrub, take a shower, sleep for a while. This was a crazy pick. We were literally walking on top of things. So I promised you I would show you what I pulled out of this particular adventure. It cost me absolutely nothing except for time, fuel, and lunch. Um, so a friend of ours invited me along on a project that he was doing, and anything I pulled out, I was able to keep. And what I'm going to do though, and I just did this for another gig that he invited me on, is I paid him 25% of what I sold things for, and he was incredibly happy. And I ended up paying him. It was a little over. I want to say it was $746.75, something like that. So yeah, he wants me to do this more often and pay him 25%. So, and I feel bad if I don't share the wealth because, these are his jobs, his projects, and he has amazing connections that, get him into pretty awesome places. So I'll show you some of the things that, I won't show you everything because there are probably 20 bins, and this is not all of the loot. But there's a few more gold rings, a few more pieces of silver that are not here. Here is one of those pieces. There's a couple pieces of artwork that I have to do more research on. There's a violin. Which I'm pretty sure is nothing special, and it's not a student violin. You could tell it was for a professional, but it's still probably something that will sell for maybe $100. But here we go. So this is a solid gold. It's English. I'm sorry, solid silver. God, I wish it was gold. And it's 800. It's marked 800. It has the English hallmarks on it. And like I said, it's an English piece. It has a gold wash inside of it. And that, this is a pretty hefty piece. As far as its size goes, I'm trying to think, if you had 2 Coke cans, it's definitely bigger than that. And it's pretty thick, and it has these cool little legs on it. But I do a lot with silver, so sterling silver is something I'm incredibly familiar with. We found some loose money. There's $4 there in dollar bills. There's 40 bucks in cash that I found inside of a book. And always check Bibles. We often find cash inside of Bibles. We had a project where we didn't know it was our first experience, thinking that there was ever cash in a Bible, but we had this Bible for maybe 3 years in our shop, and we used it more as a decoration in our office. We sat things on top of it, and one day, and it was really thick. It had to be 4 or 5 inches thick. So I had flipped through the first few pages, maybe in the first 50 pages. That wouldn't have made a dent in it. And never had flipped all the way through. And in that Bible, we found over $1,000 in cash that had been, and it was $50 and $100 bills. And the bills were old. They were from the 1930s, 40s. So we actually sold them as antique money to a dealer, versus depositing it and using it as everyday money. So we were able to turn $1,000 that we did not know for 3 years we had in our shop into almost 5. So you want to definitely check Bibles. That's where we found this $40. And this is all sterling silver. There's turquoise, there's, I don't know like what this stone is, I have no idea. But a lot of them are just solid silver pieces. They're marked sterling or 925. I think there's that one, which we don't know what that is, but it's definitely sterling. I don't think anything here is a diamond. We have a buffalo nickel that we found. One war nickel. A war nickel is a nickel that it looks dirty. And they were made, this one is 1943, but I think the 1944 nickels are also war nickels. And the reason they're called that is because they're 30% silver. So you have, it's not worth a nickel. It's worth whatever 30% of silver of a regular nickel is. So that's, worth a couple dollars. And this is a piece by Tiffany. I've actually had this bracelet before. I don't know if I can get, I think you see it says Tiffany and Company. It's signed by the maker, $925 for the silver. And I actually have it turned inside out so you could read the Tiffany on it. So that was a really cool piece. This is a huge silver bracelet. We weighed it last night. I don't remember what it weighed, but I would never wear it. It would just be too heavy. It's thick. We have an iPod. This is a 4 gig one. And, I don't know what generation this is, but whatever. We found a bunch of these Sacagawea coins, which are actually worth $1 each. People use them now, commonly in vending machines or at the car wash, and that's where I will be using those. This is the gold. This is all 14, and the rings are 10 karat. The bracelet is 14 karat, and a lot of change. We probably find in a month at least, I would say, $200 to $300, if not more, in change. These are foreign coins. Those are foreign. That's the American everyday change that you could use right now. However, we always double check when we have any type of nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies, any coins at all, foreign or domestic, because commonly we will find a silver coin. So you might find a silver dime, a silver nickel, which is your war nickel, or a quarter. But not always, but sometimes. And then other times what happens is, even if it's, let's say it's a 1955 coin and it's a penny, you always want to check your 1955 pennies, because if they're double dyed, which means that the numbers are overlaying and you can see almost like a shadow of the numbers, they were double stamped, that's worth up to hundreds of dollars. If it's in almost amazing condition, it could be worth up thousands of dollars. So I'm getting better and pretty good at researching coins. I've been doing it ever since I was a child. I always loved coins, but I never really educated myself on them. I just knew I liked them a lot. So I literally own probably 1,500 coins that are silver, or something more than just a regular coin. And I'm slowly, like the turtle and the turtle in the hare, trying to get rid of some of these coins, because now that our daughter is going to law school, I'd rather start cashing things in, go on more vacations when she leaves home, and my husband might retire so we can, enjoy life. So I inherited a lot of the coins from my grandmother, one of my uncles, family friends, who just thought I was a cute kid and wanted to give me a weird coin. So, yeah, coins are something I just continuously am learning about. So that's, part of, I guess, today's tidbit is always educate yourself, especially if it's on something that you like. And then always add one thing that you don't know about. Like, for example, if you don't know anything about Oriental porcelain, start educating yourself on it so that if you see it out there, at least you picked up knowledge on something else. You don't have to buy it, but if you come across it and you're a reseller, that could be thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. So that's, what I do is I try to educate myself on things that I like and then pick up one new thing. So this is, this stuff. Oh, and then we have this candlestick, which is, I think it's Gorham. But let me look. See if you can see it with me. Wait, it's too blurry. I don't know what this says, but it says weighted sterling. So it's weighted, that means inside. They use, like, inside of the body of this, there's a casting, and that's what weighs it down so it doesn't blow over and cause a fire. What we will do with these is sell them. We'll polish them, sell them as is if we had a pair. Since I don't have a pair, we have an easy method for peeling that silver off of the casting. And you'll end up with approximately, I would say, the weight of maybe 4 or 5 silver dollars. It depends upon how thick the silver is. This is a really old piece, so we might sell it for what it, as is. And that's the other thing. We don't scrap everything. We only scrap things that will not sell for much as they are. So, for example, these rings, like, for example, this Disney ring, which is marked sterling, that might sell for more as a Disney ring. And I don't know how old it is, so we have to do some research. But a ring like this, where they actually cut the back open so that they could try to fit the ring on their finger, that will probably be sold as scrap, because as a fashion sterling silver ring, I don't think it'll sell for much because it's been damaged. So that's something we would scrap. So, and this is one earring, like the other one's missing, so that will be sold as scrap as well. So, and this bracelet is just, I don't like it. So that will be sold as scrap. So, we go through and pick and choose what we sell as scrap and what we keep whole. And you get more money because you'll sell it as silver, sterling silver, and as, this, I don't know what stone this is, but let's pretend it's amethyst. But as an amethyst ring that has a stone on it that has to be like, I don't know, 10 carats, probably more. Some people want to buy it just for the stone. So, you have to pick, and of course, like the Tiffany piece will stay, we will not scrap that. It'll be sold as a Tiffany sterling silver piece. So, you have to pick and choose how you decide to sell. But do it smartly so that you're able to get the most money possible for your work. So, some more items that we got from that same pick. This is from the World's Fair, 1939. It was the last World's Fair ever held anywhere. And it was in New York. And it's actually a stool with a built-in cane. So you could, if you got tired, needed help walking, you could actually use that to walk with, but you could also open it up and sit. So I'm going to move that out of the way. We found some really cool old records. I think these are ashtrays, or either they're candy dishes, but they were new in the box. That's the only reason I really took them. We have the old Legos. These are really old. I don't know how complete the kit is, but I'm going to check it out. We find a lot of binoculars out there. Some are worth decent money, some are just binoculars. This is a menu from a restaurant in Germany, and it's from the 1920s. The original menu is in there. You could get filet mignon for $2.20, which is crazy. This is a Steiff teddy bear. It has its button still in the ear, but this is a newer version of the original. Like, the original is probably worth about $1,500. This one, I'm assuming, is probably worth about maybe 50 to 75, maybe more. We haven't done the research. That's Goofy's head. You see him in orange. We found 2 old Disney phones. One is of Mickey Mouse with a backpack, and the phone is his backpack. So it's pretty cool. I'm not digging that out. And then Goofy is like sitting and lounging, and he makes all sorts of snoring noises when the phone rings. We found this old golf game, which is complete. Some other miscellaneous things. This is some pretty cool ephemera that we found. I should get it out of here. I'm going to get it out. And then I'll show you what that's all about. So, some of the ephemera are documents for immigration into the United States. This one is dated 1904. That's the person's name. I'm sure they're long dead. They were born in 1870. My grandmother was born in 1907, and she's not living, so I'm sure someone from 1870 would not be living. I'm just joking. You know that they could not be living. This is from 1934. And it was in this book, which is like someone's immigration naturalization papers, or it was a version of, and it's in a foreign language. I don't know what this language is. I have this, which was in here, and it states that this lady, whose name I can't find on the other papers, was from Germany, and she was born in 1867, and this is dated, I thought I saw, oh yeah, this is dated 1940, so that tells you it happened, you know, these are people immigrating during World War I, World War II, and there's like a lot more in this book, but I mean, I'm not going to go through every single item in that detail. We found this diary that has this beautiful script in there, and I know that March is like March 1925, and there's other script, like there's different people, like all of the handwriting is different. This is 1925, but you can see that's completely